Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, Conversations Live.
Hey, good morning, Cyrus. This is Vinny with Cleo Wade.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. If you're ready to go, I'll prep her and let her know that she can say hi to you. Are you ready to go?
We're all set. Yeah, we're all set.
Okay, cool. Do you have an air date?
Yeah, it'll be airing actually tomorrow. We're going to hold it to Pub Day just so we can say the book is out now.
Got it. Okay, so you're going to air it tomorrow so she can say it's out now. Copy that. Okay,
exactly.
Cool. So let me prep her, and then we'll patch her through, and you have a 15-minute window.
Okay, thank you so much.
So Cyrus is ready to go. He's going to air this tomorrow, so you can say, you can grab the book today or now, something like that, okay? Cool. So let me patch him through. Stand by.
Hi, Cyrus.
Hello, Cleo. Congratulations on the new book.
Thank you so much.
Well, look, I enjoyed it. I know our audience will as well. We're going to go ahead and start the taping, okay?
Okay, awesome.
Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, those tuning in through our online affiliates through iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. Glad you all could join us as well. Have a great guest coming up for you guys today. Author Cleo Wade is with us to talk to us not only about her love of words, but her inspiring new book, What the Road Said. If you're looking for a book that will encourage you along your journey, even when things seem challenging, I think this book is just what you need. It's out now. Cleo, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, the pleasure's definitely all mine. Cleo, so much for us to talk about when it comes to What the Road Said. We're going to get into that. But I want to talk about the gift that you have. What has it been like for you, Cleo, to embrace your gift with words and to share it with the world?
Oh, my goodness. I feel so lucky to have gone through so many of the things I've been through in my life to get to a point where I know the value and importance of speaking up and saying what's on your mind and using what you've got. And I've always felt, I started going to poetry summer camps when I was, 7. And so I always felt that I had something to say and something to write. And I've gone through times in my life where I wasn't brave enough to write it down or say it. And as an adult now, I just feel grateful every day that the words come and that I have the courage to share them, to be totally honest.
And with a book like this, I think what is so great about it, Cleo, is that, of course, it's meant with a younger audience in mind, but we adults, I think, need this encouragement daily. Has that been one of the fun things for you with your books, to see how different age groups and different generations have been able to pick up lessons from them that they can use?
I mean, I don't think I've talked about this book with a single person who hasn't been like, I actually read it 5 times as an adult, and I don't even know when I want to share it with my kids. And so, I'm so happy to see that. And, because I'd never written a kid's book before, I'd written a few other adult books. I researched a ton of books before I wrote this. And so I read somewhere between 250 and 300 kids' books researching. And I found that the best kids' books, the ones that spoke to me the most, were ones that introduced concepts we wanted our kids to live by and did it in a way that also reminded us as adults to live by them too. And so it felt like if you were the adult reading a book to a child, which is how most kids experience books early on, you all could get something out of it and have something to relate to and talk about. And I think that we're all looking for ways to relate to our kids.
Yeah. And I think the other thing about what the road said, and for those who have not had a chance to already order it, of course, we'll let them know how they can get it. What I love about it is that there's so much encouragement. And it kind of goes to that thing about us questioning ourselves. I love the fact that throughout the book you have these questions and the road is able to answer them. But one of the big things that I love about the book that you mentioned a couple of times actually in it, Cleo, so I want to ask you about it, and that is about becoming the leader, to be the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you cannot find someone, you be that person. What has that been like for you to pick up that mantle and to be that encourager, to be that motivator, even when other people may not have that person in their lives?
I think it's also about how we define leadership. Sometimes we think that like leadership has to be like the big mean boss. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
And actually most movies where you find, the leadership, it's in the person who helps organize the employees that are mistreated by that boss, and that's who the hero is. It's not necessarily the person who's in charge or not in charge. And so, so much of what I wanted to do with this book was to role model for kids all of the qualities that go into beautiful leadership, which is, being kind, having a desire to lead people to peaceful resolution, being brave, not getting stuck in shame, being able to, make a mistake. There's a part in the book where the traveler says, but what if I go the wrong way? And the road says, that is okay. Sometimes we go the wrong way on our way to the right way. And,
yeah.
That is something that I wish I'd have known as a kid. And it's something I constantly try to remind myself as an adult and especially as a mom.
Yeah. We have heard the saying, Cleo, to be the change you want to see in the road. One thing the road says to the traveler, is when it comes to, what if I need help, you're able to ask for help. But what if the world is mean, to lead with love? I think, again, it's such a great reminder for us, too. So talk to us about how What the Road Said came about. As you mentioned, this is not your first book. You've written other books with, the adult audience in mind. How did this particular book come about?
When about 4 years ago, I was in the middle of writing an adult book, but I had this idea that came to mind, so I wrote it down on a sheet of paper, and I put it on my kind of inspiration board in my writing room, and it was the words, I said to the road, where do you lead? The road said, be a leader and find out. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do with those words at all, but I was like, there's something there. It doesn't belong in this adult book, but I don't know, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to keep it on here. And so, I decided to write I decided I wanted to turn those words into a kid's book. And in order to do that, I really had to revisit my own childhood because, I had to think about all of the questions I had as a kid and all the times I felt the most alone or scared or, afraid to make a mistake or, afraid that I was alone in the world or confused about what to do if someone was, not being treated well, near me or, all those kind of things we look back in our childhood and are like, oh gosh, that was awful or I wish I could have done something differently. And so, when I had to go back and look at all that, I was like, it was such a healing experience for me to console that little girl, and say to her, create the language of the things she needed to hear at the time that maybe she didn't get to hear. And so that has really been the journey of this book. And then about halfway through writing it, I became pregnant with my daughter. And so, what started out as a love letter to my childhood self ended up being a love letter to my daughter and also me as a mother, kind of reminding me, that I'm now the road for someone.
Yeah. Such a great point and such a great reminder for all of us. I want to talk to you about another aspect of the book, and that being embracing change, Cleo. But first, I want to say for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome author and poet Cleo Wade to our program today. We're talking to Cleo not only about her own love of words and what it's been like for her to share that with all of us. She's done it in her adult books and now with her new book that's for everybody. It's called What the Road Said. It's out now. A great book. We're going to remind you how you can get your copy as well as stay connected with Cleo. I love the aspect of embracing change and using the example when it comes to the flowers, Cleo, and even the caterpillar, right? How important has that been for you along your path to embrace the change that comes with life?
You know, I spent a lot of time mentoring young girls, and especially when I lived in New York, and you know, they always ask me, you know, like if there's one piece of advice you could give anyone, what would it be, you know, that helped you the most? And I'd say that in my life, my ability and desire to embrace change without shame has benefited me the most. And I would actually say that if I had to attribute any success I've ever had in my life to one thing, it's that, because it's this ability to change the way I think about something if I learn something new, or it helps open up my point of view. It's the ability to change, you know, bad habits that I, you know, don't make the people around me or myself feel good or better. It's the ability to, move with the changing world and ask questions and stay involved instead of trying to shut it out. And so, you know, change is always happening and it's inevitable, and, you know, it's only our kind of ability to be able to move with it and go with it and grow with it that either helps us keep going or get stuck.
Such a great point. Last thing I want to talk to you about, Cleo, that we're going to let our audience know, of course, how they can find you, and that is, you know, a lot of people coming out of 2020, you know, they're faced with a lot of questions. This book is full of a lot of questions, but do you hope that by embracing the opportunity of the day, that you readers of this book will realize that they can still achieve great things, regardless of what happened yesterday, that today can indeed be better?
Oh, absolutely. You know, this book is about our ability to continue on. It's about our resiliency. And, you know, being resilient is almost like our human birthright. You know, we are such a resilient and beautiful, thing. We just are. And so this book is really about embracing the things that are already naturally in us. And, you know, no matter what you've gone through or what you've been through, you know, you can keep going and turn that into something else in your journey, and that we are never defined by one day or one mistake or, you know, one bad thing that happened.
Such a great point and such a great reminder for all of us. Again, everyone, Cleo Wade has been our guest. Great conversation with you, Cleo. The new book is What the Road Said. You can get it through our friends at Amazon.com or, of course, order it through your favorite bookstore. And, Cleo, how can they stay connected with you?
You can find me on Instagram. I am at Cleo Wade.
All right. So make sure you guys are staying connected with Cleo there. Cleo, congratulations to you again on What the Road Said, and looking forward to our next conversation together.
Thank you so much. Take care.
You as well. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.